Hello and welcome to the Content Polymath channel. This is a video about how do I plan my content. Technically, I've made a post about it late last year, and I also had a live stream recently where I kind of just went over everything in this video, but most of you probably didn't see that, and so I wanted to make a dedicated video about this. Now, I've been making content for a very long time, and I actually went through a ton of phases when it comes to this. I'm just going to give you a little bit of background context just as a bonus for this video, because I started out trying to plan my content in like Google Sheets. Same with my modular degree that I talk about on my other channel. I had all this information on different sheets, and it was so ineffective. It was so clustered and not helpful at all. The biggest thing that bugged me also at that time was that every single post had to be connected to like a Google Doc where I would actually keep the script or blog post. And that was terrible, having two separate tools for it. It was so stupid. And so if you're using Google Sheets, please immediately get off of there. It's not helpful. I eventually moved to Airtable when it came to my modular degree because both of the content planning and my self-education endeavors kind of were aligned side by side. And so I usually pushed forward when it came to knowledge management and data management because of either one of those endeavors. Now, when it came to Airtable, I used that mostly for my modular degree, and I was grouping things together. And so I had the idea of grouping things together for my content, and I didn't know how I wanted to handle it. Like, do I make a separate database for each silo? Because essentially at that point, everything was really siloed, and it kind of went back full circle into a siloed format. But in the long run, it was more about unifying those silos and finding a way to bridge that gap. And so when I moved eventually to Notion, both endeavors actually improved quite a bit. But then I found myself kind of having an issue of like, here's a database for podcasts, here's a database for blog posts, here's a database for YouTube videos, and then a separate database for my random ideas that weren't allocated to one of those silos yet. And it was very frustrating. Then I even had another database for the Omni content, which was that special series I've mentioned before on the channel. And so I had the brilliant idea of just combining them all into different views of the same database. Cool. Not a novel idea nowadays. A lot of you have probably heard about that before, but this was like late 2010s, early 2020s. And I think it was like 2018, 2019, actually around that time. And that was kind of a novel idea. And I think I even talked about it even back then because it was so interesting how like just having different views for the same database. That was not really a common thing until Notion popularized it. Then I eventually got sick and tired of Notion constantly just being laggy or like almost like to the point of losing data. I was worried like some of these databases would take so long to load. It's not even like I had that much like in the view, maybe like 1,000 max. And it was just weird how like things would jump around, and I was almost worried that data was getting lost, or at the very least, I couldn't see everything all at once, which was really harmful. And so like I couldn't make sure for a fact that I wasn't losing data. I couldn't confirm it. So I eventually moved everything off of Notion. I jumped around between different tools like Capacities and went from Obsidian. I went from Notion to Obsidian to Capacities to Acrium, tried AnyType and Define, all these different knowledge management tools. None of them really worked. I went back to Obsidian. It was the best out of all of them. And I'm even like tripling down on that now. And now in Obsidian, especially since that you want to have things local. I can't tell you how much I've been getting more and more afraid of the cloud because honestly, as someone who's had really bad internet in the past, I was constantly kicked off of the internet because of my internet provider. Basically, the cables in my building to the street, not in this building, but from the building to the street, and even from the street pole to the node where the internet comes from, all three of those needed to be replaced, and they didn't do it for half a decade. And so there was times when my internet would go out for a week. There was times where it would just go out for a few days, but it would happen practically every month, at the very least for a few days, if not multiple times a year for a week. And then not to mention the latency. So even if it didn't go out, I constantly have internet connection issues. So I know from a personal fact that having things in the cloud, like in Notion, is not good, and their offline version does not really work either. And so having things local on the computer, just make sure you have things backed up. Can't stress that enough. Copy it to a second drive and forget about it, then do it again in a month, that kind of thing. Like just keep things backed up. But now, let's just go ahead and share screen real quick so I can get into the meat of things. This is what it looks like in Obsidian. This is a calendar view for databases. And just for a quick rundown, I have the entire year of 2026 planned out. And that is amazing. And how did I do that? Well, for the most part, I mean, I've always had this little database here on the side. So you can do like a little card view. And basically I have it prioritized by due date. And then I have the same view here. And it allows me to see like what is the next thing on my to-do list. So I actually kind of skipped the Polymath workshop post and started working on this one because this one was due yesterday. But I had already posted yesterday. So essentially, even though I missed yesterday's post and I moved it over here, I already had something planned and it went out yesterday anyways. But I wanted to try to get this one done yesterday, which just didn't happen. But that's kind of the point where because I messed up, right? This was over here before. Now I can just drag and drop to the next day and make sure I get it done. And it still gets tracked what day it was done, what day should I do it, and if I mess up again, I can just move it there. I'm probably not going to. I'm going to try to get all this stuff done today. But my point is, it's drag and droppable. And then you can even go into the database view and see like the level of organization. And this was kind of the manual part. It's the hardest part is putting the due dates. And I'll tell you why it's hard, because if you go into, let's say, for example, on the first of the month, I do a now page update. And I recently changed how these work on Obsidian side, not on the public side, because these are essentially monthly notes. And I have a whole system about like you have the daily, weekly, monthly, quarterly, and yearly over on my other channel. And I wanted to talk about that, but I was like, I needed to organize this. So now I could just click the January, or I can do, let's say like April, and it'll go to my monthly notes and also the actual public side of things too. And so now they're merged together, which I think is really powerful. But my point is, this is a thing I do every month. I do it on the first of every month, and that is a content that I have planned for the first of the month every month. And so that way I know at least one post out of 30 is going to be posted. And then let me change the screen here so you can see me too. So that's already 12 posts already planned out for the year. Cool. I actually already had these best tool posts, top tools in this category, top tools in this category. And I had already had those scheduled last year. And so all the way until July. And so that's one a week for half the year, about 25, 30 posts. Well, I think it was about 25 because 5 of them were like last year's. And so that's already half the year planned out. And then what I ended up doing was I had a whole bunch of other content posts that were related to tools, not the same as these, but just basically like, oh, here's a tool I use for X, Y, and Z. And I just put them on the rest of the year. So now the entire year, 52 posts are planned or already scheduled for the whole year. Well, tools are not the only reason why I make this content creator channel. Right now I'm doing a tools related video, sure, but this is more an educational point of how do I actually do the content planning system. So I wanted to make posts like I am today. That's why I'm revamping actually this post I pulled from Substack. And I'll mention that in a second here too. But essentially on Thursdays is the content creator series, where it's like how to be a content creator. This is more tools for content creators. This is more how to be a content creator. And so, I mean, you can kind of ignore this month. This month is not necessarily default, but like you can kind of see the pattern more here. So on the first of the month, I have the now page. On the Tuesdays, I have all the tools posts. On the Thursdays, I have all the creator posts. And then on Fridays, I have the Polymathy posts. And then Saturdays, the gamer posts once a month. And then I kind of just filled in the gaps from there afterwards. But I still have gaming posts as well. But I'll get to all that in a second. But it's kind of crazy just how much I had already basically had planned even before I made this database or calendar. And then I was able to just kind of fill in the calendar with those posts I had already planned. It took me a little while to figure out the content creator order because there was a certain like order of how I wanted to do things, but got that all filled out. That's 104 posts right there. Not to mention the 12 posts from the now page update, so another like 116. And then I had basically about 12 gaming posts that I had planned. I also had 12 swimming posts that I wanted to have planned as well, this little series here. So I wanted to keep that newsletter alive. I had travel posts, so about 10 to 12 of those I had planned. So again, some of the more minor series or series that are not as prudent for this year still needed to get some attention. And once a month is like, that's enough to keep things alive, but it's not necessarily enough to like, okay, I'm ignoring that niche. And so I have about 36, 48 of those posts scheduled out, planned out. And then from there, it was a little bit harder. I had to kind of figure out how to fill in the gaps. But let me go back to the face cam here and just talk to you for a second, because the idea of creating this much content is not an easy endeavor, right? Oh, man, I'm losing my voice. The the act of filling out the calendar is not the same as doing the calendar, right? Planning is not the same as execution. Something I talk about on this channel is the creator equation. Strategy plus automation times execution equals success. I already have the strategies, but I needed to put them in place, right? Automation comes from like Nuelink and Opus clip, and I guess technically Beacon too, allowing me to not fall too short of like posting. Like every time I make a new blog post, it automatically goes out to various different platforms. That's an automation. I don't have to do that anymore, and it takes a lot of pressure off of me. That's a huge deal. And then, since I'm posting every day, that's another big deal. Because now I'm posting at least 5 to 10 times across many different platforms. Hey, go check out the blog post. But it's more of a right hook. That's not good. So now I need to go make sure I'm doing like actual jabs, like Gary Vee says, and giving out value in all these different platforms. Now I'm pretty active on Threads, and I try to share stuff on Twitter, but I don't really do much on Mastodon or what's the other one, Blue Sky. So I don't really care too much about those platforms. I just wanted to share my stuff on there. But I am posting clips on Blue Sky, for example, and so I am giving out jabs. So the idea of automation is already in place. Cool. The execution factor is where I've been lacking. And it's kind of funny I say that because a lot of people say they don't know anybody who posts as much as me, besides like Gary Vee and Alex Hormozy, and they do way more than I do. But it's crazy to me how little people are posting, despite the fact it's a lot simpler nowadays, especially if you have the right systems in place to do it. And so, yes, I'm posting a lot. I usually post at least 1 to 3 times a week. Even on my like worst weeks, I'm posting something, either a blog post or YouTube video or something. I have multiple channels, multiple newsletters, a really prolific blog, and so I need to be better at posting to those different mediums. And I have a lot of blog posts that I've been sitting on for the last 1.5 to 2 years. So I need to get those out as soon as possible as well. So I have this feeling of incompletion as a creator because I have stuff I need to get out. But then I also have the problem of, well, I can't make that massive amount of content and try to keep the order of operations and the order of posts in my head. So you need to have an organizational system to rely on. Even if you change it, even if it's flexible, it needs to have some sort of stationary factor. And so I also have a database view for my, come on, share screen. Meld is being really laggy today. YouTube calendar. And so it filters out anything that's already done. But for example, now I have 1 video a week for the PolyInnovator channel and 1 video a week planned for the creator channel. And so I think these are both PolyInnovator, but this one's the Poly Tools. So it doesn't necessarily have to be on the same day, because every post that I mentioned on this content creator series is also a video like you're watching right now. But then I also have the Now page updates, which those count on the PolyInnovator channel. They technically do count. I don't want them to count, but they technically do. But I also have a post just anyways, just to make sure, on the PolyInnovator channel already planned. And then every month, ideally, I would also post to the gaming channel on Saturdays, but I don't have anything particularly planned right now for the gaming videos. But I think with those need to kind of rely more on the live streams more than anything. So maybe I can just live stream once a week, and that'll still give more content and feed into the gaming channel. That's something that's a little bit more extra. Haven't got too much effort into that just yet, but I'm trying to get this done. So as you can see, I make sure at least every channel, the main 2 at least, but okay, the most 2 important channels, the creator and PolyInnovator one, personal brand one, those get a video a week. Now, all the newsletters get a post once a week, if not once a month. And then all of the blog posts that I want to get out come out on a regular basis. That is a crazy level of production. It's consistent and it's planned out and it's methodical. And that is not to brag or anything like that. It's a necessary thing. I just felt like I needed to do that. I needed to be a little bit more extreme about it so I can make sure it gets out. I'm not going to ramble any longer. If you have any questions or comments, let me know. The links to the plugins are in the blog post down below. I'll link the blog post at the top of the description. And honestly, just ask questions, because there's probably angles to this I'm not thinking of. And either they'll help me or I can help you, and the discussion will be helpful to each other. Don't forget to like and subscribe.